This changes everything for the Golden State Warriors as a bombshell just dropped from Shams Charania revealing Kevon Durant has completely blown up the imminent trade of him getting sent to the Golden State Warriors, and now the Warriors have pivoted to multiple other players across the NBA. As we know, Mike Dunleavy has been desperate to improve this team in the short term to build out a championship contender around superstar Steph Curry. So we're going to break down what KD did to blow up this imminent trade, what the Warriors are going after right now, and how a bidding war is starting to brew for a star player and the Warriors' fallback options if they can't get Jimmy Butler. So lots of stuff to dive into in this video, but folks, again, we appreciate everyone that got us to 8,000 subscribers. We appreciate everyone that did that here today. Again, hit that subscribe button if you want to stay up to date with all of the latest news as we inch closer and closer to this trade deadline, which has been a historic one across the NBA. But let's dive into this because 20 minutes ago, I was about to say 24 hours ago, really over the past 24 hours, it looked imminent. A KD trade going to Golden State. The Warriors shut down other talks. We heard Vucevic was ready to stay in Chicago because those deals were shut down, essentially because the Warriors had their full focus on acquiring KD. But that has been completely shut down now because essentially, KD does not want to rejoin the Golden State Warriors. Essentially, in his final season as a Warrior in 2018, so that came from Shams Charania, obviously one of the most reliable insiders across the NBA, and then more context was revealed from Mark Stein. Essentially said his final season as a Warrior in 2018-2019 was, of course, marked by a devastating Achilles injury, as well as a growing belief that he wanted a dramatic change of scenery, which he found in Brooklyn, and no longer wanted to play alongside a Draymond Green. So I've seen a few people come out and say, hey, KD has no trade clause. He can't come out and veto a deal that was almost over the line between the Golden State Warriors, Miami Heat, and Phoenix Suns, that three-team blockbuster deal that Brian Windhorst was bringing up, along with a multitude of other reporters. Well, essentially, KD still has that pull. He still has that sway. And now Phoenix insider John Gambadoro came out and said that all momentum on a Kevon Durant trade to Golden State is gone. And KD has now been linked to the Miami Heat. He's, of course, been linked to the Dallas Mavericks over the past couple days. So it seems like if a KD trade, which does look like it's going to happen because they can't realistically acquire Jimmy Butler without getting rid of Bradley Beal, and he doesn't want to go, a KD trade to Golden State has been essentially set on fire. And this is not good because, again, the Warriors have been star hunting. They've been going full tilt, full out on trying to acquire more star players, according to Shams, according to more other reporters across the NBA. And now their main target, their prized possession, their light at the end of the tunnel has been taken away as he just doesn't want to be there. I'm not going to dive into KD and the nonsense. I've seen a lot of hate stack piling up on KD now at this point for not wanting to join the team. It is what it is. He won the Warriors 2 championships. Regardless of how it ended, how he doesn't want to come back, I'm not going to start dunking on the guy for whatever reasons. But we do have to look forward in terms of what the Golden State Warriors are going to do now, because there's only 24 hours left before the trade deadline, and they got a lot of work to do. So we do have an update from Shams, essentially saying the Warriors could pivot to Nikola Vucevic if they miss out on Kevon Durant and Jimmy Butler, and also reports dropping as even though Jimmy Butler is trying to force his way to the Phoenix Suns, that's a reality. We all know that's the case. But the Golden State Warriors are doing their best to acquire Jimmy Butler here now at this point. I know Randy's going to cover some more of that here tonight, but Nikola Vucevic is a very, very interesting piece because the Warriors have been after him a little bit over the course of the last few days. That's what the report said, but of course when KD came up in the market, they switched their sights to him. But even though the Chicago Bulls have been bad, Nikola Vucevic has been awesome. He's averaging 20 points per game, 10 rebounds, 3.5 assists, shoots 40% from the three-point line, only 29% on corner threes, which is interesting. But of course, he is 34 years old, aging center, but he does provide the Warriors with some extra front court depth, and most importantly, he comes out and helps bring a boost to this Warriors offense. It's no shock, no surprise to anyone that the Golden State Warriors are needing some more offensive fire punch. They're hoping that Dennis Schroder will be that guy who's traded for a couple few weeks ago now at this point, but more guys that can be effective out there on the offensive end of the floor is crucial for this team. And the thing about Nikola Vucevic as well, his price is not going to be that high. He's not going to command the type of package that a Kevin Durant would essentially force the hands of the Golden State Warriors into if they were to make one of those deals. Yes, he's putting up great stats. Yes, he's a very solid big man, but he's 34 years old, and the Chicago Bulls are rebuilding. They're tanking, and they just basically gave away Zach LaVine for not a whole lot. So don't be shocked if Nikola Vucevic is on the Golden State Warriors, and it's not a very expensive package that the Warriors have to give up in terms of one of these deals, in terms of one of these, maneuvers. But that's not the only guy that's been brought up in terms of a fit, in terms of, direction for the Golden State Warriors, as we did have some news drop earlier today that the Warriors continue to be ambitious in with their extreme exploration of guys like Kevin Durant and Jimmy Butler. Of course, Kevin Durant has been written off the table now at this point. It looks like, according to recent reports, again, no trade clause, so it still could happen, but league sources say that Golden State has also examined the prospect of acquiring New Orleans wing Brandin Ingram. Now, Ingram, of course, has been a name that's been tossed around to a bunch of different teams, whether it's the Raptors, the Hawks, whether it's, whoever is out there, because he's an expiring contract, and he's a guy that is very good at basketball. I mean, Brandin Ingram's stats this season, if I don't have them pulled up, but he's roughly around 22 points per game, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. He's a pretty effective scorer out there on the court for whatever team he be inserted into. And as I mentioned with the Vucevic side of things, Brandon Ingram would dramatically improve the offense in terms of shot creation, because right now it's really only Steph Curry that's creating his own looks, that's being the engine of this offense. And as Steph Curry is aging night in, night out, expecting him to be the main shot creator, not only for himself, but the entire roster, is a tough expectation. So even though the Warriors do have some really nice pieces, and I think a lot of young guys that have been undervalued in terms of, the value across the league and all those types of things, and with all the injuries that have gone, but Brandon Ingram, if he returns from that high ankle sprain fairly fast, because he is dealing with an injury right now, he could be a very not expensive piece in terms of the trade market, because he is an expiring contract and he's going to be in for a big contract extension. He could be a guy you could get for a reasonable price here at this trade deadline that could immediately improve the offense, can immediately increase what the Golden State Warriors are able to do on especially that offensive end of the floor. It gives them more versatility out there at the wing positions, and frankly, I've seen a lot of people not super interested in Ingram, but he's only like 26, 27 years old, still a guy that could be effective long-term play for Golden State, who have struggled to acquire star players, whether it's now Kevin Durant at this point, whether it was Paul George over the offseason, whether it was, Lauri Markkanen. I mean, maybe the Paul George rumors start circulating back up as they did a couple days ago with, when all these moves weren't happening. So, I don't know. Brandon Ingram, Nikola Vucevic are those guys that seem to be the players that, are the next step if they also strike out on Jimmy Butler. But I can't say I'm crazy disappointed. Of course, Warriors fans just want to see something new. They want to see a star. They want to see the last years of Steph Curry not be just a complete disaster class. But of course, you want to also maintain stuff for your future. So maybe getting a cheaper price of Vucevic or Brandon Ingram might be better off for the future of the organization. And we'll see. I think things are just a very fluid situation right now. We will keep you up to date with all of the latest updates and all the latest details regarding this team. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you made it this far. Anyways, you guys are the best. I'm signing out. Cheers.